Hello everyone, myself Dr. Makhan Singh, Associate Professor, Government College Mandragad. Today in this lecture, we will discuss about the fruits. As we have already discussed in the first part about the various parts of the fruits and various type of dry fruits. In this video lecture, we will discuss about the simple fruit which are fleshy. The first category in this type is the drupe. The drupe is a one-seeded or it may be one or more chambered. The pericarp is differentiated into exocarp, mesocarp and endocarp. The exocarp part of the fruit forms the skin. The mesocarp is fleshy and fibrous, and the endocarp is hard and stony. For example, mango, plum and coconut. In this photograph, the fruit of mango, this is the outermost skin, that is the exocarp. The mesocarp is the fleshy and fibrous, which is juicy, sweet, tasty, and the innermost is the endocarp, which is hard and stony and which protects the cotyledons inside the seed. The another type of the simple fruit which are fleshy, that is the berry. In the berry fruit, the ovary is superior, indecent, many-seeded, fleshy or pulpy with exile placentation. It is the characteristic feature of the berry fruit that the placentation is always exile and ovary is superior and the seeds they are attached in the exile placentation. In the given photograph here, the placentation is exile. This is the base central part. These are the ovules, or you can say these are the seeds. The exocarp is a fine skin. The mesocarp is fleshy, swollen, and the endocarp forms the seeds. The ovary is always superior. Next is the pepo. The pepo fruit always very much similar with the berry, but it always develops from the inferior ovary, whereas in case of the berry fruit, the fruit is always developed from the superior ovary. In the pepo, the ovary may be 1 to 3 carpellary, means monocarpellary, bicarpellary or tricarpellary, but always syncarpous, and the placentation is parietal, where in case of berry fruit, the placentation was exile. The epicarp is thick and leathery, for example, cucumber and watermelon. Here, this is the outermost skin, that is the rind, and the ovary is tricarpellary. In this picture, this is a pumpkin pepo. This is the outermost rind. These are the seeds. This is the one carp locule, another locule, and third trilocular ovary, and that the placentation is parietal, means the attachment of the ovule is towards periphery and towards central part it is free. Next category of the fleshy fruit is the pome. The pome is always developed from the syncarpous ovary. It is surrounded by a thalamus, which is fleshy, edible, and parts consist of thalamus. In this diagram, this is the picture of pear. The ovary is here, and these are the seeds. The ovary is syncarpous, and this is the swollen thalamus, which is edible. This falls under the category of false fruits also. In the case of apple, the fruit is also pome. This is the pedicel. This is the pulp or fleshy thalamus. This is the sepals remnants, these are the seeds, this is the ovary. This is the cross section of the same fruit, apple. These chambers are the ovary chambers, and this is the seed, and this is the swollen part. The pome, which is a special fruit formed by mainly from the receptacles of the flower. Carpels produce only the cartilaginous core that encloses the seed. The thin membranous structures, they are the cartilaginous, they are developed from the part of the ovary. The next fleshy fruit is the hesperidium. The fleshy fruit develops from the syncarpous ovary with axial placentation. The difference that endocarp is membranous, forms distinct chambers. The epicarp and mesocarp fuse together to form skin or rind. Example, the citrus fruits, lemon, orange, malta. Here, this is the outermost epicarp, which forms the rind, and it is fused with the mesocarp. This whitish is the mesocarp, outer yellowish structure is the epicarp, and innermost is the endocarp, which is membranous, and it forms the distinct chambers 1, 2, 3, and so on. So this is the characteristic feature of rutaceae members, or you can say the citrus fruits. Another fleshy fruit is the amphicerca. The amphicerca always develops from the multilocular ovary, syncarpus. The epicarp is hard and stony, and mesocarp and endocarp are fleshy and juicy. This is eagle marmelos, which is also known as the wood apple. This outermost is the epicarp, which is hard and stony, and inner is the mesocarp and endocarp. The mesocarp is the juicy, fleshy, and endocarp contains the seeds. These chambers are the parts of endocarp. The next category in the fleshy fruits is the blesta. It is many-seeded and many-chambered, which are developed from polycarpal ovary, which is syncarpus. The pericarp is tough, leathery, and chambers are made up of thin wall. For example, pomegranate, Punica granatum. So here the pericarp is tough, leathery, and chambers are made up of thin walls, and these are the endocarp and mesocarp parts. The ovary is always polycarpally and syncarpus. Now we discuss about the next category of the fruits, that is the aggregate. So we have already discussed about the simple fruits. In the first video lecture we have discussed about the dry fruits, and then the fleshy fruits. Here the aggregate fruits. The aggregate means collective. It is the collection of simple fruits, or you can say fruitlets. It is developed from the apocarpus ovary, means ovary is never syncarpus, not fused, means free. Carpels are free. The types of the aggregate fruits are the etirio of follicles, or you can say the fruitlets of follicles, means the more than 2 or more follicles are grouped in one structure, that is the etirio of follicles. The etirio of drupes means more than 2 drupes are collectively in a single structure. Etirio of berries, where the berries are collective in a structure, and etirio of acnes means where the many acnes are associated in a single structure. Now we discuss these types one by one. Etirio of follicles. The best example of etirio of follicles is the calotropis. In this structure, this is the calotropis procera. This is one follicle, this is another follicle. These 2 follicles are associated with each other in a single structure. This type of aggregate fruit is called as etirio of follicles. Follicle means there is a single side of opening of the dispersal of the seeds, and this is the epicarp, and endocarp is discussed earlier. Iteria of drupes means the fruits are drooped, hard and stony in the endocarp. For example, raspberry is the raspberry where the drupes, many drupes, this individual unit is a single drupe. These drupes are associated in a group and forming a continuous structure or it appears like a single fruit. That is the iteria of drupe. Example, raspberry. Iteria of berries, Annona squamosa. Custard apple. This single unit is a berry, just like the fleshy fruit, fleshy simple fruit, and these berries are associated in a continuous manner that they forms a single structure, and this single structure continue is known as the iteria of berries. Iteria of acnes. As we see in case of the lotus, these individual, this single is the acne, and finally these acne are found in a single structure. That structure is called as the iteria of acnes. For example, the national flower of the country, lotus. This is another. Now the third category, or in the case of the fruits, is the multiple fruits. We have already discussed about the simple fruits, then the aggregate fruits, and the third category is the multiple fruits. Multiple fruit is developed from number of flowers placed side by side together. Here the multiple fruit is categorized into the category sorosis. The sorosis is developed from a spike inflorescence, catkin inflorescence, or spadix inflorescence. The flowers fuse together by their succulent sepals, and at the same time axis become fleshy, woody, and as a result whole inflorescence become the compact mass. Means in case of the multiple fruits, whole of the inflorescence is aggregated into a collective single fruit. That is the multiple fruit. So in case of sorosis, the example is pineapple. Here these are the central peduncle, these are the flowers which are modified into the fruits, and collectively they are form the single edible structure that is called as the multiple fruit sorosis. Another example is the jackfruit, Octopus. This whole inflorescence is modified into a single structure called as sorosis. The next category in case of multiple fruits is the cyconus. The hypothodium inflorescence is converted into a fruit. The receptacle becomes fleshy and forms a hollow cavity enclosing a number of fruits from female flowers. Example, Ficus carica, Ficus bengalensis. The inflorescence is cyconus and whole inflorescence is modified into a fruit. This is the fruit. It starts from the hair. The inflorescence is hypothodium, and these are the individual flowers. And these flowers, the receptacle flowers, whole of the inflorescence is modified into a single fruit that is called as cyconus.